Akkad and Sumer, which they kind of sort of came after when they're, the way it's read, like Akkad, and then there's like Sumer, and then there's Samaria. But what I'm trying to point out is that none of these like cultures like went in and stopped and then went in and stopped. These are all a mix of all these four cultures: Babylon, Akkad, Sumer, and Assyria. And these are all kind of right now what it seems to be talking about. But I just want to point out that when people try to say that, oh my gosh, the Bible was copied from these Sumerian texts, from these Akkadian texts, from these Anunnaki texts. It's like, what are you talking about? This stuff was all going on. Who's to say that it's not possible? I mean, these stories are all going back and forth for years. But to say that, it's just really, it's strange, because of course we'd all like to know exactly what year, what happened, when did the Bible, but it's so weird that there have been like there's 3 earth ages, right? In the Bible, in Genesis, and it talked about a lot of this, just these different people, these lands, and they're not giving you the names of that we're using now, but these people are written about here in the Bible. I don't know, I would continue to refute that, because it's really strange to me. Chapter 16. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign. He reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of the Lord his God, like David his father. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, yea, and he made his son to pass through the fire, according to the abomination of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel. And he sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places and on the hills and under every green tree. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to war, and they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. At that time Rezin, king of Syria, removed Elath to Syria, and drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there unto this day. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, son of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of the king of Syria, and out of the hand of the king of Israel, which rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of the Lord. This is really bad. He's taking the tabernacle gold. Somehow he got some back, and he's giving it to Assyria. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasures of the king's house, and sent it for a present to the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus, and took it, and carried the people of it captive to Kir, and slew Rezin. And King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Syria, and saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent to Arijah the priest of the his peace offerings upon the altar, and he brought also the brazen altar, which was before the Lord, from the forefront of the house, from between the altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the altar. And King Ahaz commanded Urijah the priest, saying, upon the great altar burn the morning burnt offering, and the evening meat offering, and the king's burnt sacrifice and his meat offering, when the burnt offering of all the people of the land, and their meat offering and their drink offerings, and sprinkle upon it all the blood of the burnt offering and all the blood of the sacrifice, and the brazen altar shall be for me to inquire by. Thus did Urijah the priest according to all that King Ahaz commanded. Wow, that's like super corrupt. It sounds like this King Ahaz is telling him to set up the altar the way he wants, not the way that it's been set by the Levites, just so he can go in and talk to God, which is not what's supposed to be happening. The Levites are supposed to be doing that. But he set it up. He gave all this brass altar stuff to the priest and told him, he's telling the priest what to do. So that's not good. Thus did Urijah the priest according to all that King Ahaz commanded, and King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases and removed the laver off them. So not only is he moving them around, he is breaking and ruining and cutting all of these vessels that we heard about in Leviticus and throughout up to this point. He's messing them up. And King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases and removed the laver off them, and took down the sea from off the brazen oxen that were under it, and put it upon a pavement of stones. And the cover for the Sabbath that they had built in the house in the king's entry without turned he from the people of the house of the Lord for the king of Assyria. Oh, in the covert, not cover, in the covert for the Sabbath that they had built in the house in the king's entry without turned he from the house of the Lord for the king of Assyria. So, by the king wrecking this, nobody is praying right. Nobody is praying to the Lord right. They're all after other gods in the groves and high places, like they keep mentioning. And then, now the rest of the acts of Ahaz, which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Ahaz slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Hezekiah his son reigned in his stead. Yeah, here we go. Because even like just a couple minutes I watched about Neo-Assyria, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about, because I looked at Pileser, Tiglath-Pileser, and they said he's associated with Hezekiah, so we'll be hearing about them. And it's almost over. And then we're going to go into the book of the Chronicles, what it keeps referring to all the time in here, talking about, isn't it written in there? Isn't it written in there? So I'm going to try to tighten this up a little bit, because this is just going to be repeating this. And I didn't like this because I didn't understand it that much. Well, it's just, I gotta be careful what's gonna happen now. But can't you just see, like, even from this name, Tiglath-Pileser, right? Well,
if you look at their art, it's so old. And it's around the time, right? All those other people, like I mentioned earlier, Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and they're all kind of going back and forth. They're all still there. But the people are like kind of dispersing into like one place, one of them, the latter. So I think it kind of goes Sumer, Akkad, then Assyria. But when you keep hearing all these people going, the flood story, it's been written. Oh my gosh, right? And then the story of Noah, that's copied too. To this day, that's all anybody does for so many things. The basis of everything is from this book. And then nobody says, oh yeah, by the way, like that thing where they go, many are called, few are chosen. Like, I thought that was an army poetry phase. I didn't realize it was from the Bible. But yeah, everything comes from here, basically, if you think about it. And this thing where they're stuck on, no, it was written so much earlier than the Bible. The Bible was copied. Okay, sure. Did you just see all these names that we just read? Like, well, believe me, that part of your story, whatever, the flood, the flood, you're copying it. No, you know what? That story's all over the world. That story of creation, that flood myth, right? Somehow. Yeah, because probably the Bible, somehow, but people are mixed up when they're saying they're so much older than the Bible. They copy. What are they talking about? This right here is like 900 when they're talking about Tiglath-Pileser. That's already 900 BC. And so how far does time go back? 6,000 years? When they're talking about the giants and these freaks, like this is like Anunnaki freak people and stuff. Yeah, they're gonna copy the Bible. Yeah, to this day, people are gonna believe that. Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, can you believe? Well, I know one thing. Whatever Anunnaki myth that the Bible copied, yeah, they didn't use all these names that we've just read in this first quarter of this book. These are specific. These aren't copied from your Anunnaki tales. No, there's no way. These are so specific for a reason. And it's hard to put it together. They have to be studied carefully, so carefully. And I'm just going through this at a chapter a day. But this really points to that. Oh yeah, that must have been one heck of a long Anunnaki poem. Or yeah, look at all these names that we had to copy from there. No, that's not what happened. And they're talking about a simple, their simple copying of a myth that's just made its way everywhere around the world from years ago. All their original myth is the same. Flood, flood, flood. And if they hide the mud flood from us and all this Tartaria, what in the world are these people thinking that this book is copying some Anunnaki was written down? What are they talking about? That Anunnaki, all this stuff, this is what this is talking about. And it's going to get more. And I can't wait, because I'm going to point it out when I get there. But yeah, just too many names. I'd like to see that poem. Actually, I don't have anything to do with it. But it's really satanic mimicry to put that out there. because if like we don't even know about the mud flood and all these beautiful buildings that we have now, they were not built by nobody can recreate them. They're just like the pyramids. They can't do these large cathedrals. They can't do, nobody can do the pyramid like that. Not nobody. So yeah, and I don't think it talks about the pyramid in here, but surely, from the time of creation, in like the first world age, yeah, maybe some Anunnaki, type space people, and that's why God didn't, God had it with them at some point, right? And he flooded the world. He's had it with all this horrible stuff. I think they were a total part of it. And then they're like, oh, but they wrote that. No, they didn't. They didn't write the story of creation initially. What they did was cause so many problems that got flooded out, and yeah, they lost, and their people are like, oh yeah, but it's older. No, it's possibly even true that it was even written at a certain time, but to think it's older than this is just something I want to keep my eyes on throughout this Bible. And the other thing is how in the world this thing points out so many places and so many saying these people are in this place to this day. When it says that, it knows when this was written. It's not just to the day when this King James Version came out. No, it means now, 2023. Whenever it says it in here, it's not talking about, oh, no, we're gonna stop. We can move on from this is so fast. What I really wish is that I could figure out how to do the Google Maps better and go to straight all these places. Yeah, so whatever. Too bad that their story that is so much older, right? Wow. So that's it. Wipe your hands. That's it, everybody. The flood happened. This is so specific. All these places, all these people. Like, it's such a satanic thing to attach to. It's absolute propaganda, and it's really easy to say because everybody in every culture on earth has that similar flood story. So are they going around arguing to every single culture? Well, guess what? Our Anunnaki flood story is older than your flood story. I mean, I guess they'd have to do that then, right?